Welcome to Healing the Patriarchy with Love podcast. I'm your host Luna, and together we're becoming rebels of the heart, one show at a time. You're listening to the Healing the Patriarchy with Love podcast. I'm your host Luna, and today we're very blessed to be joined by Lynn Avis. And I've got Lynn's bio here, and it's a really good one, so I'm going to read it out to you all so you can get a sense of Lynn before we begin. So Lynn Avis is a healer, Angelic Channel spiritual teacher, international retreat host, and divine energy artist. She guides people to emotional mastery through the reconnection to their soul, wisdom, and intuition, allowing them to reclaim their divinity and truth of who they really are. Her healer's journey, spanning nearly 3 decades, has taken her around the globe. Over the past 20 plus years, she has been fortunate to work and train with incredibly gifted mentors, intuitive healers, and shamans in some of the world's most beautiful countries, such as Peru, Bali, Nepal, and the incredibly beautiful Greek island Kefalonia. It is on this stunning Greek island that she has hosted an annual Divine Connection Upgrade Retreat. A unique gift on her spiritual journey, she has trained as an Usui Reiki master, become a highly intuitive card reader, worked on Sky TV as a live studio psychic, and rediscovered unique healing gifts and a powerful healing connection to the angelic realm. She teaches others to connect with their angels, spirit guides, beloved ancestors, and soul wisdom through online and in-person workshops. Wow, that's quite the bio. So Lynn, thank you so much for giving up your time to come and spend it with us today. I feel so grateful and blessed to have you with us on the show. So a very warm welcome.
Thank you for inviting me. I feel very honoured and excited to be here.
Oh God, yeah, I'm excited to have you here. Thank you for coming. So I just want to give the listeners a bit of a kind of background about, how I know you and things like that, just so they've kind of got a sense of that before we begin. So we're Facebook friends, aren't we? Which is kind of a modern thing, isn't it?
It is very modern, yeah. But it's been a number of years we've been Facebook friends. I'm trying to think back how long we've actually been Facebook friends, and I can't think back that far. So I know it's many years now, many years.
It is. I think it was probably about 2014, because I was quite new on the spiritual path and I was very into angels. And then I think that's kind of how we connected, actually, was through angels. So it's really interesting that then we're here today and I've asked you to come on and speak about angels. So it looks like it was always meant to be.
Always meant to be. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think, one of the things that I really love and admire actually about your Facebook is that, Facebook can be quite a difficult place for people. The whole of social media is a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it, shall we say?
Yeah.
And the thing that really, that I really love about you is that you've always got really positive and fun posts on, but you don't bypass anything. You're not pretending that there isn't anything difficult in the world, but you're just like this beacon of angelic light.
Yeah, I make it a conscious, I've always made it a conscious effort to use Facebook as an extension of me. So I don't bypass things. I've gone through an awful lot of healing my own personal wounds, and I've never shied away from that, from shadow work, from really going and doing the inner work. But I don't want to focus on that. I don't want that to be my focus, because I am a naturally optimistic, I said I'm happy to die an eternal optimist. That I just am, and I have a sunny outlook on life, even though it's been challenging, even though it's been extremely difficult at times. Thankfully, and I am very, very grateful and thankful that I do have that natural sunny nature. So Facebook, I just think there is enough other people sharing doom and gloom and what's wrong with the world, and that's not my focus. There's a lot of beauty in the world. There's a lot of incredibly amazing people doing amazing things that can get overlooked. So yeah, that is definitely my focus.
Oh yeah, well it's so powerful. It really is. It's like, I just feel it's like a beacon of angelic light, and I really do feel like, you know, lots of people talk about having a connection to angels, and of course we all do, but
Yeah.
I think you're one of those people that kind of, I can feel the transmission of angelic energy from you. So kind of like, my podcast is actually quite dark, so it is one of those dark places, because of course you can't heal the patriarchy without talking about the damage
No.
that's been done by it. So, you
No.
know, there's quite a lot of taboo topics covered on it. And I just really was sort of sitting with it. And I felt like, you know, it just could do with a little bit of light just to keep things kind of moving along, really. Because, you know, if there's a lot of dark, it can get bogged down. And
Yeah.
it was instantly, when I was thinking about angels, I just thought, I know exactly. There's only one person for me that could come on the show to represent angels, and that was you.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's about balance, you know, and we have light and dark within us. It's mirrored out into the world. And yeah, we've experienced a long period of darkness with the patriarchy, you know, as the whole of humanity. I do hope, and like I say, I will be that eternal optimist and hope that we are coming out of that now, and it is being exposed and it is being shown to the world, and that we can rebalance that with the light and experience a different journey for humanity in the future.
Yeah, it certainly feels like, I mean, so much has come to light, so you know that it must be in the light, so it must be healing. So it certainly feels like we're on the right track, I feel.
Yeah, I feel we're in the messy middle.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That means we're moving forward and we're progressing. So yeah, we have to be we have to learn to love the messy middle. I'm still working on that one.
Yeah, me too. It's a work in progress.
Work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I have very mixed listeners, because not, even though the show's quite spiritual, because I am, not everybody is very kind of into spirituality. So although everybody will have heard of angels, can you maybe just sort of like, for people that maybe don't know a lot about angels, just give us like an overview of what angels are and what their kind of their purpose is for humanity? Do you want to kind of share some of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, this is, you know, my truth, and it doesn't have to be anybody else's truth. That's okay. But my truth is that we are a spiritual being, we are a consciousness, and we're experiencing that consciousness through being a human on earth at this time. And along with that, there are levels of consciousness. I do use the word God. I took a long journey with that word, and that level of consciousness that is the creator of all things. You know, I do believe that we have to see ourselves as a miracle, that we are here, and that each and every one of us is a miracle. And then those different levels of consciousness, and the angelic realm for me is a pure, beautiful level of consciousness that is assigned to humanity. Now, this journey is not easy. Being human really is not easy. It's you know, people call it earth school. Learning lessons. I want to change that story for myself, and I'm kind of, do I have to keep learning lessons? I didn't really like school, but in each school there's a playground, and I prefer to focus on the playground. So I see Earth as this beautiful playground, and the angelic realm is lightness, is purity, is that part of that aspect of ourselves that is pure and light. But they are there to assist us on this journey. There are souls, companions. That's how I see them. And I do feel every soul is assigned an angelic guide, a guardian angel, if you want to call it a guardian angel. But there is a hierarchy of angelic consciousness, and that's not a hierarchy like humans have a hierarchy, that someone is better than someone else or less than someone else. That's not how those pure levels of consciousness work, but the hierarchy works in overseeing. So some oversee countries, some oversee elementals, some oversee animals. So yeah, so tapping into that level of consciousness, that pure level of consciousness that is about joy, protection, the arts, it's very light. So it's interesting that you're saying that the podcast has got a quite a dark element to it. The angels are the complete opposite to that. Yeah, but healing as well. The angelic energy that is extremely healing, because it's unconditional love, and there's nothing more healing than unconditional love.
Oh, that's so true. It really is true. I love that you call them companions then. I haven't thought of it like that.
Yeah,
that's really
yeah.
good. Yeah.
And that was for me a whole journey of connecting with them. But what it gave me was this sense of we are never alone. And for me, that is true. We temporarily feel separated from creation, from God, from nature. When we incarnate into earth, we get that illusion of separation from source, the divine, whatever you want to call it, that we come from. And our connection is what we go back to, our consciousness. It's just this temporary vehicle, this body that houses our soul, our spirit, our consciousness. And yeah, just reconnecting to that takes away that sense of being alone, having to do this on our own. We have a whole team of unseen. For most people it's unseen. Some people are blessed to see angels and guides, but for most of us it's unseen support that we can lean into, that's constantly there, and it makes the journey an awful lot easier and more pleasant.
Yeah, I definitely have experienced that because I felt so alone as a child, but I did actually have Archangel Michael in my bedroom with me and following me around. And I didn't really understand, what he was.
No.
I just kind of knew that everybody else couldn't see him, and he was kind of had this beautiful, peaceful energy.
Yes.
And it was really, really what I needed at the time. And so even though I wasn't kind of consciously connecting with him as such, just that sense of him being there helped me.
Yes. So, yeah, that's feeling safe, feeling supported, even though it might not seem logical. It's a feeling, and for me that's the way that I first connected with the angels, was a sense and feeling that they were there. I couldn't see them, like some people, but I could hear a voice speaking to me. But it was very strange because it was my voice, but it was different.
Yeah.
And that grew over time. For me, it grew in my confidence of what I was connecting to. But the sense and feeling was so beautiful. Like you say, that serene peace and inner calm that I wasn't experiencing in my everyday life. It was very different, what was going on around me as a child. But that sense and feeling, that peace was just, I was like, oh, I want more of that. And I always say, when you do start connecting to the angelic, it's almost like they give you a golden carrot. That feeling of peace, that feeling of calm and serenity, and like, oh, I want to feel that again. I want to feel that again. So that's how they kind of nudge you into going into your inner self through meditation, through breath work, through just being still.
So can you talk to me a little bit more about what happened when you did first connect? When was this, and what was kind of happening around your life, and what did you think when you first kind of felt that energy?
Yeah, it was interesting because I had a very, very profound experience when I was in hospital, but I didn't know at the time. I knew something extraordinary had happened. I didn't automatically say, oh, that was an angelic experience. It was only years later that I realized what it was. And I was in hospital. I'd had a ruptured ectopic pregnancy and gone through the night with internal bleeding. So it was a life-saving operation.
Yeah.
And then I have a natural aversion to hospitals, doctors, all that kind of stuff. And my brain wouldn't shut down when I was in hospital, so I couldn't sleep. So by day 5 of no sleep at all, I was on the edge, and then I broke down because I hadn't cried or any of that. So I was in a pretty hysterical state, and the nurse was so lovely with me, and she got me into the bed and she said, look, you've done really well, but all this has got to come out, and try and get some sleep. So she calmed me down. I fell asleep. It was late morning. And when I woke up, I maybe had a couple of hours sleep, but I felt like a different person. And I felt so calm, so serene. And I was surrounded by a smell of flowers, like when you walk into a florist and that overwhelming fragrance hits you. It's so intense. And there was no flowers in the hospital. So I'm looking around me, like sniffing under the covers, sniffing under my arms, like, where is that smell coming from? And like a mauvey lilac-y haze when I came to, that cleared very quickly, but the smell lingered, and I was just like, wow. But it was how I felt inside that was completely contrary to how I'd fallen asleep, and just this real calm. And I had the fragrance smell again when I went home, which I did have flowers in my house, in my front room, but I smelt them in my bathroom. I smelt them in the cupboard under the stair, you know, in very strange places. So I knew something was going on, but I didn't know that was angelic. I then found out years later, when I started studying angels, and I did an angelic connection course, that it was an archangel called Muriel, and she connects with people when they're ready to start their journey, really start their spiritual journey and reclaim their gifts, their intuitive gifts. So it's many years later when my life came to a big crossroads, and that was, I had another ruptured ectopic pregnancy, and I wanted to leave the career that I was in, hairdressing. And I was guided this time, very pronounced. They didn't mess about with synchronicities, to find me a teacher and a mentor who ran angelic meditation classes and a course. She's an amazing lady who's now one of my dearest soul sisters. And once I started meditating, my gifts quickly kicked in. And I'd done psychic development in my 20s. So 30 something years ago, I knew I had something that maybe not everybody had, but I didn't have the personal confidence. I didn't have the self-worth, the self-belief to pursue it. So I shut it all down. And then so this was 2000, late 2004, beginning of 2005. This is when they really, synchronicity, they pushed me to go to this meditation class. And it was really quite funny. I'd got a meeting booked with my bank manager, and I got there early. And I was walking through the village, and there was a shop that sold magazines, and it was called Bargain Booze. and I was like, I need to go in Bargain Booze. And I was having a conversation with myself in my head. So I thought it was with myself, saying, go in Bargain Booze. And I was like, I don't want to go in Bargain Booze. Why do I want to go in Bargain Booze? Well, you could get a magazine. You could read a magazine while you're waiting because you're too early for them. And I was like, I don't really want to read a magazine. And it was just this conversation going on in my head, which forced me to go into this shop that I didn't want to go into, to buy a magazine that I didn't want to buy. And it was to see the notice on the notice board a poster for an angelic meditation class. And I just, because I'd put out that this was what I was looking for. And I was just looking and I was like, I can't believe this. It's like, oh my goodness me. So that was the beginning. And that was actually somebody else's course through the summer. And then Jackie's was through a college, an adult education college. So it started in the September. And that was it. Once I started there, once I started meditating, all my gifts started. So the clairsentient sensing and feeling really honed in. Then the clairaudience. And then the final one was the clairvoyance, because that was the one that had freaked me out in my 20s and I'd closed down. Yeah. So we do have free will. You know, we're not given anything that we can't handle, that we can't cope with. We are, you know, we've been given that God-given free will. So we choose. And I chose to embrace it then, although it was a long journey. But I did those classes for 7 years. I wouldn't have wanted to miss one for the world. I loved it.
Right, goodness me.
So yeah, it's a bit of an epic journey. But it just helped me in all areas of my life, releasing trauma from the past, helping with relationships that I was in, healing physical things. It was just incredible. So why would I want to give that up when I was reaping the benefits?
Yeah, I know we're not going to talk about this, but I just want to say I'm sorry about your ruptured ectopic pregnancies.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Out of respect, I just wanted to say that. But,
thank you.
But like, not wanting to move on really rapidly either, but I know that's not what we're here to talk about today, so I just kind of wanted to mention it though.
Yeah, no, it's part of my journey, and I've got full awareness of why I chose to and I do feel I chose to experience that journey. Yeah, I'm here to help others. So anything that we go through and that we overcome and that we heal and become empowered by, then I do feel it's our soul's journey to then help others experience the same. And we do become those beacons of light for people.
Yeah, well, you certainly have. And I just want to say that it's so brave of your soul to have opted to do that in order to help people. So thank you.
Yeah, the ego and the human doesn't always understand that.
No, I'm sure. I know that well.
Oh, yes.
Fun and games with
yes,
mine.
Many an ego conversation with my higher self.
Good, isn't it?
Check that soul contract, please.
I just want to go back over the fine print.
Just want to go over the fine print. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I have a joke with my friends, and we say, "Who authorised this? I want to speak to the manager."
Oh, I call board meetings quite often.
Board meeting.
Yeah, with my team. Right, is a board meeting this? I'm not fully on board with this, so board meeting is required.
I love that. That's brilliant. So when all these gifts kind of started to come online, did it feel natural, or was it quite overwhelming, or did you just start helping people? What kind of happened with that?
So with once I got connecting with the angelic energy, yes, it felt fantastic. It was just like, oh, it was what my soul. I always feel it's like your soul will allow you so many years of your personality, we'll call it, instead of ego, your personality being formed, your experiences, and let you go so far, and then it pulls rank. It's like, no, you're not driving the bus anymore. Now I'm taking charge. I'm going to be driving from here on. So I like to make friends with my ego. I feel that's people say get rid of your ego. I don't feel you can. It's part of you. It's, you know, it's all shaping and coloring who you are. But making friends with your ego and understanding it and where it comes from and your programs and beliefs. So by the time I did the meditation class, the angelic meditation class, I was ready. It was what I was looking for. So I was on board with it. I wasn't fighting it like I'd done in my 20s. And yeah, so the clairsentient, I could start sensing and feeling things. And Jackie was an incredible teacher, and she could see what I couldn't see in myself, which is always handy, because, you know, still self-belief is a program that I seem to have embraced quite a lot through my life. not really believing in myself. And I feel that gives me a real empathy with people when I'm teaching, and it gets feedback to me of like, people don't feel judged. They feel safe in my energy. They feel, you know, safe being guided by me. And I feel that's because I've done that journey, and it is work in progress all the time. But Jackie could see in me, so she pushed me, and she did push me, God bless her, to start doing readings. And it was baptism of fire, because she'd organized a table at an event, a little mind body spirit event, and she had a long list of people, and she said, oh, I can't do all these. She said, here you go, here's a table, here's a chair. And I was like, I can't. What do you mean? What do you mean do readings? No. And she said, yes, you can, sit down. She knew I was ready, but I did need that push. So that was the beginning, was readings. And then I intuitively woke up one day and thought, I need to learn how to do Reiki. I'd never had a Reiki session. I'd had spiritual healing in my 20s, energy healing, natural healing, spiritual healing, whatever you want to call it, but I'd never had Reiki. I'd heard this name mentioned, but I just knew that I had to train to do it. So I was like, well, how do I find a Reiki teacher? And I looked online, and then there was all this long-winded of like, you've got to find the right master, and they might be the other side of the country. And I was like, I haven't got time or money for that. This is when I pulled a board meeting, and I said, just find me the right Reiki master for me. I haven't got time, I've got money to be traipsing all over the country. And that was a client rang a wrong number. And then she rang me and she said, Lynn, I think I've found you your Reiki master. This was within days of me having the board meeting. And I said, what? And she said, yeah, she said, this lady, I rung the wrong number and talked to her for 2.5 hours. And she said, and she lives just 5 minutes walk from you.
Oh, wow.
And she was a really amazing lady. She had been a Reiki master for donkey's years. She had trained, and that was it. So I did my Reiki 1 and 2, and that helped me on my healing journey, and that helped me with my intuitive gifts as well. But I became a Reiki master and teacher. I took 5 years to do it. But then years down the line, and funny enough, that was when I was in Peru and in a retreat, and the shaman said to me, what you do is not Reiki. And he picked up, it was the angels. So even though I didn't train in angelic Reiki, as people call it, it's angelic healing. I don't feel we need the titles, we don't need the labels. And I said, well, people know what Reiki is. What do I call it? And he said, well, your connection is so pure. He said, you don't need the Reiki title. And I was like, okay. So I know it's, you know, as a healer, you're a channel. It's not you doing the healing. And I feel that that's important, that people recognize that. You can clear yourself of your trauma and your journey of healing you makes you a clearer channel for that healing energy to come through.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because as you're saying about being a clear channel and letting it come through, it just says fully charged with the battery.
I know, sorry, that's my phone. I don't know what, I can't turn that off. I don't know where it's come from, but it now speaks to me that it's fully charged. Yeah, so when you're fully charged yourself,
You are now full of angelic energy, Lynn.
yeah, I'm fully charged with angelic energy. They're flowing through, but that's it. It flows through you. So the clearer you are as a channel, the more energy that can flow through you. So I always say that you can get okay healers, good healers, and exceptional healers, and that's how much of their own, I was going to swear then, of their own that they've cleared that makes the difference. And yeah, so that was 2015 when I was in Peru that I kind of started to drop in the Reiki title and started claiming the angelic connection, and then went on to see an angel in Peru. Funnily enough, you mentioning Archangel Michael, that was who showed up.
Oh yeah.
So I'd been connecting at this point for like nearly 12 years. And I was like, why do I not see angels like other people? Was my ego was getting quite miffed about it, because I just seemed to be meeting more and more people that literally physically saw angels. And I was like, well, how is this working? You've got me connecting and working for the angelic realm, and yet I can't see. I sense and feel, I hear really clearly, great, I know that they're there, but I want to see an angel. And that was just ego. It was just sheer ego. But he actually showed up because I called on a board meeting with God at that point to help somebody who was really distressed, and it was distressing me seeing her. And it was a girl that was training to be a shaman with the shaman of the retreat, and I really connected with her. She's beautiful, beautiful soul, and it was really upsetting me as a sensitive, energy sensitive and being. And I literally said, God, please bring Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael to help Valentina. And he showed up, and the whole wall in front of me went, this is a big round building, like a thatched, great big high 15-20 foot building, and the wall just all in front of me went this golden shimmery white light, like an iridescent white light, and this great big 12-15 foot angel in front of me. And I just heard one word, which was Michael. But I, in my head, went, Michael? Questioning it, because he didn't show up how I perceived. If Archangel Michael rocks up into my world, he's going to be, you know, with his royal blue and gold bright light and his sword of light and his shield and all of the depictions that we have been given. And it was anything but. He was shimmering iridescent white, and his wings edged in gold, his robe edged in gold. And I just, when I questioned it and said Michael, I just heard in all God's glory. And I didn't speak that way at the time because I was struggling with the word God at the time. And so I knew, I just knew, my whole body shivered, and then he'd gone. And I've always known that angels aren't winged beings. We have this depiction because of the way the energy has been seen by human beings. Their frequency is so high, their vibration is so high. The way their light, if it is seen by human perception, looks very like that, like winged, but we've humanized them and they're not human.
Yeah.
So, but they know that we like that and we feel safe with that vision. Because I'd asked, but it actually wasn't for me, I was asking and calling on it, then I got that experience, and it was life-changing for me. Even though I'd been connecting and working with them for over a decade at that point, that was a pivotal shift for me in myself and my confidence in me. But it was at the right point in time for me.
Yeah. Divine timing.
Divine timing always, which divine timing is us.
Yeah.
Us being aligned.
Yeah, because it can only happen when it's the right time, can't it, for
Yeah.
us? Yeah. Because so you have had some quite big experiences, really, haven't you, with the angels?
Yes. Yeah.
Would you say that they're a constant, though? So they're constantly there in your life?
Yes, and I just feel when I stepped up and started connecting daily, that's when everything shifted. So that's what the meditation class, I was going to the meditation class once a week at first, like you do, and this is really nice, but then it was like, I want to feel that again, and then making that commitment to meditate every day was the game changer. Because you need that stillness. And I the classic monkey mind when I was younger. One, I'm a Gemini, so very mentally based, mentally based, of mind chatter, overthinking, constant conversation in my head. And I needed to still that down, because the perception of them is very subtle at first. It gets stronger with time and with dedication to trusting. It's a faith journey, definitely a faith journey. But it just, that connection gets stronger, and then it changes from a belief and a faith to a knowing, and that deep-seated trust. And when it shifts to a knowing, nothing could persuade me any different, that it's not true to me.
Yeah. It's your lived everyday experience.
It's my lived experience, and I don't need other people to believe me, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
Whereas when you start off, you want people to believe you. You want to, and I'm not here to preach to anybody, to convince anybody. I just have a gift to help people connect themselves.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that in mind, I know you have said that you would be willing, because I've asked you if you would be willing to do a guided meditation for people on this podcast, just kind of like now, so that people could maybe potentially experience that for themselves, or if they
Yes, I'd
already
love
connect
to.
with angels, it'll just be an extra kind of gift.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to let the listeners know then, because I do have listeners that listen in the car.
Yeah.
You must not listen to the guided meditation in the car.
No.
You can download the episode and listen to it another time. You can pause. Just please do not listen to it whilst driving, because I know Lynn is powerful, so I don't want you to kind of fall asleep or go into an altered state of consciousness. You really must not listen to it whilst driving.
No, or operating any kind of machinery.
Machinery as well, that's the one, isn't it? Yeah, heavy machinery.
Yeah.
Well, I always say, if you're kind of responsible for vulnerable people, so if you've got kids and they're awake, it might not be a good time. You might want to wait till they're in bed, that kind of thing.
Yeah, when you can just focus on yourself and just close your eyes. So if there's anything that you feel you wouldn't be able to just close your eyes and just relax for 10-15 minutes, then wait until you're in that position.
Yeah. Okay. So with that in mind, you might like to pause, or you might like to decide to download it. Whatever you need to do, we'll just give you a little minute to do that. And then, Lynn, do you want to kind of tell people, how to get comfortable, and then kind of just go into the guided meditation, and then when you're finished, because I'll do the meditation because I can, because I'm lucky.
Yeah, lovely.
So I might just take a little minute to come out at the end, but I will definitely speak. Yeah, just bear with me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
so
for meditation, it is best if you sit up with your feet flat on the floor, unless you want to sit in the yoga pose and sit on the ground. Lying down, the tendency is to want to fall asleep. So it's a guided meditation, and to just stay aware of my voice in the meditation, it is usually better to just have that upright position. So feeling yourself supported, get yourself nice and comfy, that your back feels supported and that your feet. And then just when you're ready, just focusing on your breath and closing your eyes. And the reason closing your eyes for a meditation is because we take so much stimulus in through our eyes that your brain is trying to process all that information. So just gently closing your eyes, but you can open them. There's nothing to be worried about. You're not going to be hypnotized or go into deep trance or anything like that. This is just going to be a very gentle, light meditation, but hopefully very relaxing. So just closing your eyes when you're ready. And with your eyes closed, just now focus on your breath. So just become aware of yourself breathing, because you're actually being breathed. You don't have to think about this. You know, you are being breathed, and you take that breath in and you release that breath out without ever having to think about that. But we just want to focus our awareness on that breath now. So take a conscious deep breath in through the nose and just allow your belly to flop out. And then when you breathe out, your belly will naturally come back in. And this is like a baby breathes. So you watch a baby breathe in, the belly comes out, right out when the baby breathes in, and then goes back in on the out breath. And that's a conscious deep breath. So that's taking a nice deep breath. Most people, particularly in the Western world, are shallow breathing from their chest area. So just the breath alone is relaxing. So taking that breath in and then releasing out tension and stress on the out breath. And the mind wants something to do. So thoughts will come into your mind, and that's okay. We can't really get rid of thoughts, but we can bear witness to them. And then when we realize we're witnessing a thought, can just come back to the breath. It's just a very gentle bringing your awareness back to the breath and just the journey of that breath into your body. And as you take that breath down further into your body, imagine you're breathing into your abdomen, and you're breathing all the way down into your hips. And the out breath is where you relax, so you can release tension and stress out of your body. So really letting go on the out breath, giving yourself permission to let go. And then breathing all the way down to the soles of your feet on your next breath. So just imagining that breath traveling all the way down. And as you gather up tension and stress on that out breath, just feeling more relaxed, feeling softer in yourself, giving your muscles permission to loosen and soften. And breathing down as though you're breathing down into the earth, and just feeling the ground below you, and imagining that you have roots like a tree, like a mighty oak tree, and that you can actually breathe through these roots. And taking that breath all the way down through your roots into the earth. You feel secure and anchored and grounded. This is a great way to ground your energy if you're feeling a little uncertain or unsettled or anxious. Just breathing down as though you're breathing down into the earth. And Mother Earth holds you. She nurtures you. She provides everything for you. And at the center of Mother Earth, the heart of Mother Earth, there's a beautiful, loving energy. You can breathe that energy back up your roots. So you can breathe energy, you can revitalize them, regenerate them, and breathing that energy all the way to the soles of your feet into your body. And as you breathe that beautiful energy of Mother Earth around your body, you relax even more. And just imagining that you're being held and nurtured by the most loving Mother Earth. And just breathing it into your body, into your bones, into your skin, into your nervous system, into your digestive system, into all your internal organs, and every part of you now is being loved and nurtured and softened and loosened. All these parts of you work so hard for you, and just allow them, just give them permission to relax in this beautiful loving energy. Breathing into your heart, through your shoulders, down your arms, and breathing through your spine, and allowing that energy that's flowing up from Mother Earth to flow through the muscles in your back and your spine, and just relaxing that down. It's just a very gentle, loving energy. And through your neck, through your jaw, through your scalp, through all your facial muscles. We hold a lot of tension in our face, in our temple and brow, to the crown of your head. And now just picturing the crown of your head as like a bud, a lotus flower bud, and it opens up petal by petal. And as your awareness rises through the crown of your head, just imagining a column of white light, the divine life force energy. Some people call this the chi energy, ki energy, universal life force energy, source energy. But it's from the divine, from God, from the creator that created you, whatever works for you. And this life force energy, you can breathe into your energy system, breathing that down the center of your body. And breathing this now, this divine light energy through your energy system, brings with it healing, brings divine love, divine power, divine healing, and divine wisdom. And as you breathe this through your cells, breathing through the cell membrane, breathing it all the way through the mitochondria, into the God particle, the spark of who you are, into your DNA. And just allowing this energy to rise back up through the crown of your head and through your energy fields, through your emotional body. And this light is like a sparkling, shimmering white light. And as you breathe it through your emotional body, it cleanses and purifies, heals your emotions. And now breathing through your mental body. So again, seeing the light rise up out of the crown of your head, through the toric field, through your mental body, cleansing, purifying, healing your thoughts, and your etheric body, and then it forming a sphere of light all around you, above you, below you, in front, behind, to the sides. So this sphere of beautiful, shimmering, white, divine light encases you. Maybe see a bubble, a ball, an egg shape, a spacesuit, whatever works for you. And just see your own light now, your own divine light become brighter and clearer and stronger. And then calling on the angelic forces, the angelic realm. I'm going to call on Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Gabriel. And see them standing as 4 beautiful sentinels of divine love, light, healing, and protection. And then above Archangel Metatron, below Archangel Sandalphon. And there's a thread of light connecting each and every one of them. And then that light radiates out and forms another sphere. And this beautiful divine love, light, healing, and protection is all around you, around your own divine light, amplifying that divine love, that divine wisdom, that divine power, that divine healing, encasing you in this beautiful sphere, receiving healing, feeling safe and protected, receiving wisdom, reconnecting to your own divinity, bringing that sacred back into your everyday life. And now we're very gently going to come back to your physical presence, but bringing back all this beautiful energy to feel peaceful, to feel calm, to feel light-hearted. And that energy of healing is going to continue to work very slowly, very gently throughout the day or the evening when you're listening to this. So very gently now, just in that beautiful light, bringing your awareness back into your physical body, just gently breathing in and wiggling your fingers and toes, breathing in consciously, deeply, just rolling your shoulders and stretching out, feeling light, feeling at ease, feeling peaceful, feeling wide awake and alert, and then taking a nice deep breath in. And when you're ready, there's no rush, but just very gently open your eyes. And when you're able to, just grab yourself a drink of water when you're fully back and aware.
Lynn, that has sorted me right out.
Wonderful.
It has honestly sorted me right out. And I think, you know, when we were talking just before we came on the show, I was saying I was in a bit of a state. I had quite a difficult weekend, and it's just gone.
It's gone. Amazing.
Yeah, you've
perfect timing.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for being so generous in sharing, you know, your incredible gift with us all, doing that for us. And
my absolute pleasure.
I'm going to download the episode. Never mind anybody else.
Well, yeah, you can start whenever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that was it was beautiful. Thank you so much. It really has sorted me out. I can feel everything's just kind of dissolved, gone.
Oh, beautiful, wonderful.
Yeah,
their energy is just it is magical. I do like that word magical, because it really is miraculous when you work with that energy frequency.
And what I really got from it, because I tend to be quite visual, so I'm a bit different to you. I don't tend to be very clairsentient. I don't tend to feel things that
okay
often. but actually I did really feel it with that. So that was
Oh,
interesting.
nice.
You know, coming from you who feels things, I felt things this time. So
Beautiful.
yeah, so that was really lovely for me to experience. So thank you so much.
Nice.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I just wanted to ask one kind of last thing before we kind of wrap up a little bit.
Yep.
If that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just interested in these retreats that you run. So I wondered if you could just tell us a little bit about those, and then we can kind of close up a little bit.
Yeah, so that came about because I wanted to go traveling, and my skills were all in person because I was running in-person workshops, healings, readings, and transferring my skills online so I could go traveling. I put together an angelic connection course, and then I did a divine masterclass course, and from that course then the retreat developed, and that was for people to be able to immerse themselves into the inner journey of connection, clearing out old trauma, beliefs, programs from childhood, all with the angelic connection, and then reprogramming, bringing in healing. So it was a 5-day retreat, the first one, and then it became a 7-day because people enjoyed it that much and they were like, I want longer. And it was on the Greek island, you know, so to allow people to enjoy the island as well, it became a 7-day. And then of course the world shut down. So I haven't held one for a couple of years, but it's something that I would really like to get back up and running. But I would like to run one in the UK as well. So I'm looking at doing that later in the year. I live in Devon now, in beautiful South Devon, and that is such a gorgeous part of the world that feels it would be lovely to run one here as well.
Yeah, it certainly would, wouldn't it? With all that beautiful Devon. You have beaches as well, don't you?
It's gorgeous. It is one of them, and I was guided here literally by the angels. When I left Greece, well, I came back. I was living in Catalonia, and then I came back in the August. Been back in the UK a year now. I've lost track of the years. It's just I can't even remember what year to say now. But anyway, I came back in the August, and they were very clear that I was coming back to the UK, but my ego was like, no. But I have to follow where my soul leads, and in the November I booked the flight, and in the December I came back, so I've been back just over a year, and it was Devon, and I didn't really know Devon that well. I've got a best friend that lives in East Devon, and the synchronicity was magical, and I'm living in a place that I've fallen absolutely head over heels in love with and feels like home. So yeah, so to run a retreat in this part of the world would be amazing now.
Oh yeah, I really hope that you make that true.
Well, once it's put out there, the seed has floated out into the universe and will germinate, just like it did for I'd wanted to do an international retreat. I had either Greece or Ibiza in my mind, and yeah, it took several years of me clearing my limiting beliefs out that I could do it, and it was magical. It was nothing short of miraculous. There's no way around it, that it blew me away of the experiences that people had, all supported by the magic of Greece, the healing energy, and the angels. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Right, you've made me want to book one right here, right now.
You should do it, definitely. You're such a gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel that's calling, isn't it? Definitely.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Great, wonderful. I look forward to seeing all about it. So I think unless you have anything else that you want to share, I think I will just probably ask you if you can tell people where they can kind of find more about you, and certainly your energy art, which I love.
Yeah, so connect with me on Facebook. My name, Lynn Avis, Lynn Avis. I do have a page, which is Lynn Avis Divine by Design. So you can find me on that page or on my personal page. And yeah, connect with me there. At the moment, my website is being reconstructed. I'm going through a transition of my offerings, so that's at the moment it's under construction. So the easiest way is Facebook.
Yeah, and you sell tote bags, don't you? Where you
So yes, I've just started getting creative again. Now I'm settled in the UK and I'm not traveling. I did 4 years of nomadic. I've started getting creative and painting, so yeah, I'm doing hand painted tote bags at the moment, so it's a nice creative outlet. And I'm going to be starting doing my angelic and divine art as well, canvases, which is tuning into people's energy frequency and their angels and bringing that through into a piece of artwork, which I did several years ago before I went traveling, that people still message me and send me messages about their art and how they still love it, which is a beautiful thing. But that was another way that the angel energy can radiate out through the world. So so their light's shining.
Yeah, just think of all those people that have got it anchored in their home.
Yes, yeah, people in their treatment rooms or their bedrooms, and they just say it brings a beautiful, peaceful energy and loving energy into that space.
Yeah, I've seen them. They definitely do emanate beautiful, peaceful, angelic energy. So yeah, more of them in the world, please.
Yes, and I got a response from a Facebook friend in Germany, and just from the photograph of one of the bags, I wasn't expecting this. I was hoping I'd set the intention that people, got a real connection to the energy of their bag, but from a photograph, and he said this energy shot through him, through his chakras into the ground and out through the crown, up from the ground, through his chakras, out of his crown, all within 2 minutes of him looking at this photograph on Facebook. And I was like, wow, even I was like not expecting that kind of response, which was amazing.
Yeah. No, they're potent. I've felt them myself.
Yeah. Which was lovely to hear.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah. It's good to have the confirmation, isn't it?
Yeah, when you're not expecting it like that.
Yeah.
Not from a photograph, I wasn't, no.
Oh, well, just shows you, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I just want to say thank you so much, Lynn. I've loved this. I could talk to you for forever. I could have you on 1,000,000 times and carry on talking to you, but our time is coming to an end now. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, especially for that beautiful guided meditation. And as I say, it sorted me right out, and I'm sure it will sort everybody else out if they listen as well.
Oh, lovely. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Okay, take care, Lynn. Bye. You've been listening to the Healing the Patriarchy with Love podcast with Luna Anna. Subscribe and follow to join the tribe of Rebel Hearts.